Alright, welcome back to a new video. This will be a little bit different because this will be for the Kingpyn tournament happening April 22nd, which I got my own tournament bracket. You can tell because searched online, a lot of them don't have it the way they're setting it up. But of course, all 8 fighters are here. Anisan Gibb, Austin McBroom, Jarvis, Tom Zanetti, my mate Nate, King Kenny, Winderson is also another one, and a mystery fighter, which has yet to be announced. But there's also a wild card that I think just got announced of Blueface coming back. But I don't. They didn't fix the tournament bracket, so I'm gonna just assume it's just there. It's just a fight happening right there. Just an extra fight to fill up the card, right? I'm confused if the tournament is, as this is the second attempt I'm gonna do it, because I didn't label them as my mistake, but. The winners will take these 2 brackets, while the losers will take these 2 brackets. The winner of this one will take 1 spot, and the winner of this one takes 1 spot. The losers move on to here, fight each other. Same thing with this one. The winners of these 4 fights gets this position, while the losers get this position. And then the winner of this one becomes a position right here, and the loser moves down to here. The winner of this one, and the winner of this one moves up, and the loser fights here. Then the winners fight here, and the losers fight for last place, basically. It's a little confusing, but whatever, man. You gotta make it work, right? But the first match is, of course, one of the better matches, and you'll see, because this will be the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. This is just final placeholders. Will be Gibb versus McBroom 2, as we've seen the last fight. When they first fought Social Gloves, Gibb won against McBroom via knockout. A very stellar performance in a dead crowd, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Gibb won by knockout, and they will be having their rematch in the tournament. Now, the difference is, people are saying Gibb is going to win decisively like he did the last time. Difference is, I think, not biased here, anything, I do think McBroom's going to get the upset victory. Why? Because it seems like the things have changed. Now, Gibb is the cocky one, and McBroom is obviously not humble. I mean, Gibb wasn't even humble in the last fight. But they basically switched, which means McBroom is the one that's obviously the underdog, and the less cocky one, while Gibb is the favorite, more cocky one. Difference is, McBroom lost because he made a dumb mistake, and that was continuously go forward for no reason. He was good on the outside. He knocked down Gibb with his speed and power, but then he got close, kept getting caught, and even though he went down like 4 times in the fight, for some reason he kept moving forward for no reason. He didn't have to do that, but he kept doing it, and he got knocked out. The fight easily could have gone to the decision if McBroom would have, I don't know, maybe taken a round off. He probably could have even won by knockout. Difference is, McBroom, like people say all the time, is a more naturally gifted athlete than Gibb. That's why I got McBroom winning by TKO. Most of these fights are coming by way of TKO because, well, his influencers most have poor defense. So, as we can see with our tournament bracket, we move Gibb to the loser spot, which sucks. I'm going to tell you something right now. It sucks because Group A, which I call it, aka Gibb, Broom, Jarvis, and Tom Zanetti, they're all really good. Unfortunately, they all got the same side, which means eventually they're gonna have to fight each other, and they're gonna get rankings that doesn't really suit them, basically, right? And McBroom obviously makes it to the winner's side. And then we get to the other quarter finale fight, which is another really good one. The semifinals and the quarterfinals are the best fights because the A side they're fighting, right? It'll be Jarvis versus Tom Zanetti, which was Jarvis. Obviously, the last time we saw him was in the first Social Glove event, which is like forever ago, where McBroom fought and TKO'd, who was it? All right, Bryce Hall, right? And he knocked out his TikToker. Yeah, in a battle of platforms, right, where YouTubers fought TikTokers, McBroom versus Hall, obviously. And Jarvis, as the YouTuber, fought some other dude. I forgot his name, but he did win by TKO, which is really surprising because most of these fights got stopped, when the person was standing because they never really got the chance to hit him with a strong enough blow to knock him down. That being said, he's going up against Tom Zanetti, which he has fought more recently, obviously, against Slim for the Misfits Light Heavyweight World Championship, which is a really weird thing to say. But yeah, he fought him. He almost won. Obviously, almost isn't good enough. But the difference is he did say that he was sick and he doesn't have as much experience as Slim does, which, he's 100% right. Slim has fought better opponents. And Tom Zanetti, I think, was making his debut in the boxing scene. So, that being said, he did really well against Slim. He has a great chin. And I think Tom Zanetti beats Jarvis by knockout. Not stoppage, like straight knockout. That's what I think he's going to win by. Because Tom Zanetti, I think, is naturally the stronger one and can naturally take more punches than Jarvis. I like Jarvis, but I think out of, the A side, he is the weakest one, unfortunately. He cannot take that much power. So, obviously, we move them to their respective spots. Jarvis goes down to fight Anisan Gibb in the semifinale. And Tom Zanetti moves up to fight an Austin McBroom in the semifinale. So then we go into the B side, which has, how do I say, more unknown fighters. Most people don't know these people. Because like I said, Gibb, McBroom had their big fight. Jarvis, still recognized by his TikTok victory. And Tom Zanetti, obviously, with a slim performance. Then we got My Mate Nate versus King Kenny. Because King Kenny is making his return after his upset loss to, Roku, I think that's his name. The thing is, My Mate Nate is actually 3-0. I didn't know that. And King Kenny, although he did lose his last match, and every match he did win were shrouded in controversy, especially against the FaZe members, like FaZe Temper and FaZe Sensei, which, first of all, you can make your decision on FaZe Temper fight. You can say that he won, he lost, whatever. But you can't say that FaZe Sensei lost against King Kenny. He got 2 standing 8 counts on King Kenny. You literally, mathematically speaking, he couldn't have won the fight. So, whatever. But since My Mate Nate has never fought in like Misfits or Social Gloves, I don't think so. He's fought more lesser opponents, not known opponents. But then again, if you fought on Social Gloves, you basically fought another guy who doesn't know how to fight. And even the person who did know how to fight, Deji, got stopped. So, whatever. Who do I think is going to win? I think it's King Kenny. I think King Kenny will get his game together because he does have a very strong jab. And he knows how to somewhat move around the ring. We saw in the last fight. Difference is his offense is bad, and every time he gets caught, he kind of stops fighting. But I think My Mate Nate's lack of experience will come to bite him. Against King Kenny, I got King Kenny by decision, which is a really weird saying because most influencer fights end in knockout. But King Kenny, I do strongly believe he is going to win by decision. My Mate Nate's good. He's just, I don't think he's fought anyone in the caliber of King Kenny, even though King Kenny lost, basically, his last fights. So My Mate Nate wins. My Mate Nate loses. Goes down to the losers bracket. King Kenny moves up, obviously. And fights for his chance to be in the finale. Weird thing is, what sucks about this bracket is that there's a mystery fighter. As you can tell, mystery fighter is fighting Winderson, however you pronounce it. Difference is we can't say that the mystery fighter is any good for the sole fact that Deji isn't fighting, FaZe Sensei isn't fighting, KSI turned down the offer, Slim's not fighting because he has his own controversy, or not controversy, his own problems with Kingpyn in general. It was actually supposed to be Jay Swingler, who should have lost his last fight against Nick LMAO. But he didn't, so whatever. But then something happened, he got injured, he can't fight. Saw Poppy isn't fighting because it was too little too late to ask him because he was already like indulging in food again, so he couldn't get back down to the weight anytime soon. So it's Winderson versus the mystery fighter. So unfortunately, as much as I want to, talk about how you know, the fight would go, it's not really, you can't really make a good prediction when, you don't even know the other fighter. So unfortunately, Winterson will have to move up without any, anything, because we can't expect anyone good to be arriving anytime soon. And the mystery fighter obviously goes down, and you could probably tell how this is gonna go, but it's gonna be my mate Nate. Unfortunately, we'll have to move on without, his own talk. But here's the thing: people do say it's Flippick, what the hell his name is, but he's 0-0-0, which means he has never fought at all before. So it would still be good to put Winterson ahead of him because he has 1 win and 1 draw. So whatever, right? Anyways, semi-finale, which is another great list of fights because the A side is still continuing to fight each other, which will be I think the main event would be Austin McBroom versus Tom Zanetti. I think that's how it goes. Main event's Anisan Gibb versus McBroom. Co-main event Jarvis Tom Zanetti. Then my mate Nate Kingpyn, and opener Winterson mystery fighter. So who do I think is going to win between Austin McBroom and Tom Zanetti? This is a very tough one because, like I said, McBroom has good power, good speed, and if he did what I think a lot of people would tell him to do in the Gibb fight, it would be safe to assume that he's not going to get into a firefight with Tom Zanetti. But then again, most of these people don't know how to move around the ring a lot. I mean, Kingpyn kind of showed it, but then again, most fighters also don't know how to pressure. So I got McBroom winning. I think Tom Zanetti is good. He's a juggernaut, granite chin. But I don't think he's able to keep up with McBroom, basically. Because he may have fought Slim, but by like the 3rd round, they were already huffing and puffing and swinging. But they were huffing and puffing and swinging because Slim made it a dogfight for no reason. Even though he had the range, he had the, not speed, but, he had enough power to drive him back constantly, yet he never did it. So, like I said, safe to assume that Tom Zanetti got close to winning because Slim made a mistake, So I got McBroom winning decision because I don't think anyone's gonna knock out Zanetti anytime soon unless he wants to fight someone like Jake Paul or KSI or something like that, or Saul Poppy. I guess he could too. But for the most part, I got McBroom winning split decision. It's gonna be an extremely close match, and I think it is going to be a dogfight by the end of it, like the last round. But I think it'll be too little, too late, and I got McBroom winning split decision. So obviously you move him up to the finale, aka fighting for the number 1 spot, and Zanetti fighting for the number 3 spot. Of course, we got the co-main event, Kingpyn versus Winterson. And you want me to say generally what I think? I think Kingpyn wins. I think Kingpyn wins by decision again, because Kingpyn, although he did TKO DK Money, I think his name was, whenever he gets put up with someone that's of any caliber, he doesn't do that. And more times than not, he acts like he basically loses. But the thing is, I don't think, Winterson has 1 win and 1 draw, so that's not the most perfect record. I got Kingpyn once again by decision because, I haven't seen a lot of Winterson, and no one has. There's only 2 fights, and one of them was a draw, so not really the best thing for him. So, of course, Kingpyn will fight in the finale, which is really weird because I think Kingpyn, out of everyone, has, the easiest path to the finale. Because although my mate Nate is the strongest out of the B side, I think Kingpyn is just overall, if he wants to bring it out, overall could be the winner. But then again, this entire thing is basically just a bunch of what ifs. What if he learns? What if he does this? What if he does that? I'm gonna give my other thoughts on how it might actually go, but it's not too bad to think, right? And Winterson loses and goes down to fight Tom Zanetti for the 3rd place spot. And here it is, the other one, Anisan Gibb versus Jarvis, another amazing fight. But I think Jarvis gets TKO'd again. I think he loses by knockout again. Because Gib is, although he's not the fastest, but he is really strong and he can catch you, right? And I think Jarvis will once again try to make it a dogfight and pay dearly for it because, Gib would win the exchanges at the end of the day because he's more naturally stronger than Jarvis. So I got Gib by TKO, not knockout this time, just TKO, stoppage, right? And unfortunately, although I like Jarvis, he does get bumped down to fighting for basically last place, which sucks because he gets the worst, matchups. He gets Tom Zanetti and then the winner of Gib versus McBroom. That's like the worst type of matchup he could get. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. He just picked it. Because if he was on the other one, if he would have replaced the mystery fighter for Just Saying or Winderson, he could have been fighting for third place easily. But unfortunately, that's just not how it works. So Gib moves on to fight for fourth place, which sucks because Anisan Gib should not be considered fourth place material. And Gib fights for obviously last place. Not last place, but basically last place. 7th and 8th, basically last place. And of course, my mate Nate instantly moves up because, well, like I said, we can't assume that the mystery fighter is going to be good, and they have yet to announce the mystery fighter that I know of. But whatever, it might be good, it might be not good, and for all we know, it could be Pineda. Screw it. Yeah, well, you know what? After this, I'm gonna say how most people would have it, and what if Pineda was the mystery fighter? And then we got the main event for the finale being Austin McBroom versus King Kenny, which is a really interesting matchup, except for the fact that King Kenny does not do well against someone who moves in. He lost his last match that way. He got bodied by Face Sensei, who jumped in, which, first of all, I want to see Face Sensei back. All right, let's be real. And McBroom, like I said, speed and strength would be too much for Kenny, but it would be decision. King Kenny does have somewhat, maybe not chin, because he has been checked, but he also has been wobbled and saved by the ref with a standing 8 count. But I think McBroom wins via decision. I think his knockout streak ends because Tom Zanetti, once again, chin is granted. Very hard to knock out. And King Kenny would probably be running for the majority of the match after he gets hit with a strong shot. So I got McBroom being first place winner. Really surprising. Most people wouldn't have it this way. I would because why not? Oh, well, wrong thing. It's basically my parlay. I would be putting $1 on this parlay and I will get $1 billion in return. See, y'all ain't reading money moves. And King Kenny obviously gets second place, which he should not have get second place because he would 100% lose to Tom Zanetti, Anisan Gib, maybe not Jarvis, unfortunately. Jarvis kind of is the weakest of the group, but he would 100% not be second place if it was actually an actual ranking. And of course, we got Tom Zanetti versus Winderson. You really didn't ask me who's going to win. It's Tom Zanetti. Tom Zanetti's going to win by knockout. He's too much of a slugger. He knows how to fight on the inside. He knows how to move, catch you like he did with Slim. And especially if he works on his cardio on this entire time, which he did say. I think he did say that he was going to be training on it. He would 100% outlast Winderson in a fight. Tom Zanetti by knockout. Then again, I also don't know how long these rounds are. Hopefully they're around 6 rounds at least. If they're like 3 rounds, then this whole event is trash. But Tom Zanetti moves on to the third round. Not third round. He moves to third place. Which I think he should genuinely deserve third place. I think that's what he would genuinely be ranked. Then, of course, Anisan Gib versus my mate Nate. I got Anisan Gib by TKO. My mate Nate, like I said, he's good, but he's not good enough, especially since the last fight is against a mystery fighter, so we don't know how much value a win over a mystery fighter would give him, but it would not be enough to beat Gib. I would got Gib by TKO because I just think Anisan Gib is a little too strong for anyone else. No one's strong enough to put him down. The only other one that would be strong enough to put him down would be someone like Tom Zanetti. Difference is they never meet in this entire tournament. Unless, oh wait, they would have if Jarvis was not there. Instead, switched with, like, I don't know, Winderson? I don't know. But in my thing, he would not make it. So, a Nissan Gib gets put into fifth place, actually. Which, you want to be dead ass with everyone? He does not deserve fifth place. He does not deserve fifth place. My mate Nate puts up a hell of a fight. We should see him more often. But his lack of experience in any actual influencer events would probably come up. And of course, Jarvis versus the Mystery Fighter. Unfortunately, we don't know the Mystery Fighter. Jarvis wins his first ever match, basically. This got to be bad for their brain health or something, because there's no way that they're going to allow someone to lose all their matches within the span of like a couple of months. I think it starts April 22nd, right? And then the next one is in June, which is only a month away, I think. Oh, no, it's not a month away. Which is 2 months away, and then the next one is August, which is another 2 months away. That's got to be bad for someone's mental health, because the Mystery Fighter, if we're being honest, if it's most likely not going to be someone good, would be losing all the time. He would lose his Winterson fight, loses my mate Nate fight, and loses Jarvis fight. So, final ranking, I got Austin McBroom number 1, Kingpyn coming up runner-up. Third place being Tom Zanetti, a well-deserved win. Winderson becoming number 4 only because he got the weakest side of the tournament. Nissan Gib, 5th place, which he should not get. My mate Nate getting 6th place. Also probably would not put him there in the actual ranking. Then Jarvis, 7th place, would not put him there. Mystery Fighter, 8th place. I would 100% put the Mystery Fighter there. Because unless it's someone like Pineda, he would 100% be there. But anyways, let me first rank them by how I think it would actually be ranked. So anyways, so this is what my actual ranking would be. It would be number 1, Austin McBroom, obviously, won the tournament in my eyes. Number 2 would obviously be Nissan Gib. I think he's the second one. Third place should go to Tom Zanetti. I think he's rightfully placed. Fourth place should be Kingpyn. Fifth place, my mate Nate. Sixth place, Jarvis. Seventh place, Winderson. And 8th place, Mystery Fighter. Very interesting. But let's put in another person in the mix. What if Pineda was part of the ranking? All right, so we got Pineda here, right? Pineda versus Winderson. Who would win? Pineda. Pineda would win, which would put him here. It would be right here. And who would win between Kingpyn and Pineda? Pineda. Pineda would 100% win. I think he got his confidence back, or he gained confidence. I don't know if he ever lost it because he never had any. Then he would go to the finale, which would actually be very good. But he would ultimately lose to McBroom. I would think that his power and his speed would be a little scary for Pineda, therefore not allowing him to be able to fight at 100%. So if Pineda would have a run in position of the Mystery Fighter, I would put him in number 2. In the actual ranking, he would be more like number 4, to be honest. Maybe number 3. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I will not be making a tournament video on the girls' side. This has been 20 minutes of content. I am not ready for more. Not to mention, let's be honest, the only reason why most people are watching this tournament is because Gib and the McBroom rematch is happening. The other fights, maybe not. But anyways, that is the end of the video. If you are going to watch more boxing content, another one will be coming out, I think, later on today, which will be the Rakhmedov. Unfortunately, I may be mispronouncing his name, versus Cordina, where Cordina will attempt to become a 2-time IBF Super Featherweight World Champion. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I catch you in the next one.